Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another night of Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast. This is Coach Derek Johnson here, along with me, Larry Hovden, and we have quite a time here. We've been having some good times all these past weeks.
We have, yeah.
And first of all, you always got to start out with the money. You got to take care of our sponsors, Flemke Insurance Agency.
Yeah, Ben Flemke and his highly trained staff over there at Flemke Insurance Agency. They are a one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Right down there, across from the power plant, basically, downtown, centrally located. And, they shop over 40 companies for you. They do the legwork for you. They advocate for their clients. And that's the handy part about going through a broker like that is they're able to shop so many carriers and kind of compare and contrast and work it out with you.
Get the best deals.
Absolutely. And thank you for your sponsorship, and thank you for Mr. Max Flemke, who helps out, seems to ice almost every duel we have here at 220 as a ninth grade wrestler.
He's doing all right.
He's doing dang good and was just in here finishing up with some sprints after practice, putting in a little extra work. So
It's fun to see that when our kids do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Coach. Last Thursday, the Varsity JV were at Mankato East. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we took care of business, which I know sounds weird to say, like Mankato East, if we had any nerves about it, but quite frankly, they kind of almost trapped Northfield at the first week of January. They only lost by 2 to Northfield, and so we were looking up and down that lineup like, how did that happen? And pretty much had the same lineup. Northfield was missing a little bit more than we wrestled them. But still, it was just kind of like, okay, well, we need to take care of business. This isn't going to be a cakewalk.
Yep.
And we know that they didn't quite have a full lineup, but where they did have wrestlers, they were all strong, well-conditioned. So they're kind of a program that looks like they could be something to watch, 3-4 years down the road. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, 55-19 against them.
Who got the pins?
Yeah, so if you've been to our meets, or saw it on social media, we have a white cowboy hat, which is the pin hat, and so you get one of those and high five down the line, and the last person on the line dons you with that white pin hat, and they love rocking that. So here's the following wrestlers that got to wear it against East. We had Parker Casas at 132. That was great for him. I think that was his first varsity pin, too.
Good.
RJ Reinardy at 160, which was really fun because they thought that was a match they should have had. So it seemed like it was going to be a bubble match, and then he sticks his kid. And then Max Flemke at 220, who pinned their 220-pounder who bumped up against Northfield and pinned Northfield's heavyweight when they wrestled. So that was no slouch either, and he got the stick.
Ooh, that's a huge win there.
Yeah.
For Max.
Yeah.
And the clutch wins?
Yeah, so the tight matches that we absolutely had to have, Kaden Lindquist at 106, an undersized 7th grader that keeps on showing his experience, and, he's been on the state and national scene for a long time, comes from some really good wrestling stock, and he's just very poised, wrestled, quite frankly, what was a very mature, like, upperclassman style match, which was awesome at 106. And then Michael Reinardy took on one of their studs, ended up winning. I think he almost got the major, too. So he kind of poured it on at the end, which was awesome.
I'll tell you, though, these names that are coming out, the Reinardys, the Flemkes, and Sorensons, you're starting to get some good names in this family wrestling here.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
Really is. Every week, you got those names in there.
Exactly. Well, and then a kid we're going to have on here shortly, Jack Sorenson, at 152, went against one of their strongest wrestlers. And Jack fought back extremely hard. And, it was a very team point important match. And not only did he conserve team points, but quite frankly could have won that. He ended up gassing his kid out near the end. So he was fighting back really hard.
He knows next time at sections.
Exactly.
If he does beat him, he'll know what to do.
Yeah. And then Blake Fitcher at 195 went against their actual stud, who's probably going to do some damage at state. Same type of thing where that kid got out to an early lead, and Blake wore him down. And I think they're probably like a 5 out of 10, a very evenly split match if they go head to head 10 times. So, yeah.
Well, a good night there for Owatonna. Last Saturday, the varsity and JV at East Ridge Ruckus individual tournament.
Yes, and that's a tournament that has, so East Ridge is in Woodbury there, and then they had the likes of Waconia, who are really, really tough, top 5 team in AAA, Anoka, top 10 team in AAA, and then some stud Wisconsin programs, Baldwin Woodville, who's always tough.
Yeah.
Menominee.
The ones that travel out of Wisconsin are always tough.
Yeah, Menominee, Washington County. So, yeah, some really stud programs. So it's for only having 16 teams, it is a pretty tough field. And so, yeah, the place winners on varsity, we had a finalist with Lane Karsten at 120. And he had, to see him mature has been really fun because he's kind of tapping into that next level where his semifinals match, he flat out rode a kid for the last 2 minutes, didn't get hit with a stalling, iced it for the win, was just so active on top. It really reminded me of like a college-style match where you're up by 2 or 3 points and you just grind on top for the win. So that was cool. Michael Reinardy, similar type of thing. He's one of these guys that in front of our eyes has turned in from just kind of an upper body throwing guy to now a complete wrestler where he's hitting like some nasty outside singles, has a really dangerous fireman's. And so him taking third there was impressive too. He had a really, really tough bracket. Cael Robb had a loaded bracket, so he ended up taking third with a really close loss in the semis. The number 4 ranked kid from St. Francis in Class 2A, but number 4 ranked at a weight class above him came down. So that was a really kind of big bout that, Cael was up to, or it was a 1-point match, I would say, until the last minute. So that was close. Blake Fitcher had a pretty dang good day, too. There was just, especially in the upper weights, all these kids were horses. So for Blake to take third was pretty impressive there. And then Jayden Jirele was also wrestling at 120 as our non-scorer for team points, but he wanted to see how he could do there, and he took 6th. So that was awesome for him, kind of showing that he belonged too. And then RJ, Michael's little brother, Reinardy, at 152, was the one to watch. Took 6th place, but everything was a throw from him. He's just so electric and has zero
sixth
fear.
Place, man. There must have been tough guys.
Very tough, but he was just tossing people, so that was fun to watch.
JV finalists at the same tournament?
Yep, at the same tournament. So Isabelle, who I believe actually got matched up with 1 or 2 weight classes above her, an all-girls bracket. She destroyed everybody in her bracket and took first, so that was awesome. And then Charlie Seykora, Chuck, at 170 pounds, wrestled a really good tournament with a solid finals match. So that was cool to see, too, and won that. And then Justin Gronli, really close to getting a championship there, too. So Justin of the Gronli brothers has been out a few years due to injuries. So him coming back as a junior here, he's improving week to week. So it's so cool to see that.
Still finished second place. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Last Saturday, the 9th grade team also went out. 9th grade team state.
Yep, they went all the way up to Mora, Minnesota. And, yeah, they lost, I believe it was 38-33 to Dassel Cokato first round. So really, really close. And then Fulda seemed to have kind of a stud team. With 9th grade, there's a lot of programs that will throw some varsity freshmen on 9th grade team. Yeah, just for the sake of winning it. So kind of had a feeling that was what was going on there.
Way back, they weren't able to do that, so they probably changed some of those rules now.
Yeah, it's kind of an honor rule system as far as, not having your absolute varsity starters out there. But, well, it was still fun.
Okay, this week, where are you going, Coach?
We are at home tomorrow night, Thursday the 26th, for Alumni Night. We have a try with number 12 ranked Rochester Mayo, and Mankato West is also coming to town. So, alumni, please stop out. I believe we have some kind of goodies for you, both of the snack and the. I don't want to overpromise, but I think we have some canned koozies for sure, and maybe some other stuff too. A raffle, I believe. So come on out. It starts at 5:00. We actually have Rochester Mayo right away at 5 o'clock, varsity and JV going at the same time. Then 6:30, we have, then we take a break where Mankato West and Rochester Mayo are wrestling. And then 7:30-ish, 7:45, whenever that's done, we'll do kind of an alumni recognition.
Picture.
Yep, the picture out on the mat and everything like that right before we wrestle West at 7:45, 8 o'clock, sometime around there. So.
Okay, Friday, the girls varsity.
Yeah, we're taking 3 girls up to Simley High School for an all-girls tournament. That should be pretty dang fun. It's cool now that they're starting to single out like actual girls-based tournaments. Mm-hmm. It's just a different atmosphere. It helps it to not feel just kind of like tacked on or like something extra. It's its own thing, and they do a great job making a big deal of it. So excited to head up there.
Saturday,
we got a lot going on. So varsity and JV are heading over to Cass and Manorville. Starts at 9 a.m.
That's going to be a tough match.
Tough. Yeah, dual tournament, 5 rounds. And we're going to be seeing number 10 ranked Shakopee. We're going to be seeing number 4 ranked Cass and Manorville. Caledonia, we're going to have from lacrosse, we have Aquinas, which is a really tough team. I think the least strongest team that we're going to be going against is Lewiston Altura, which is historically a great wrestling community.
All farm boys there.
Yep. So that'll be a big day.
That's going to be a day to be at. And Saturday, the 9th grade individual.
Yeah, the individual state qualifier over in Jackson County Central, as always. So, it'll be spread out a little bit, but it'll be a lot of fun.
All right, that takes care of varsity and JV. How about the middle school?
So the middle school wrapped up their season last week with a home quad at the middle school, and that went really well. And then they like to end with the Farmington individual tournament last Saturday, which was a lot of fun. So Farmington does a good job. A, it's so well run. B, they do a really good job matching up skill levels for that tournament. And I know being the father of kind of a newer wrestler, that goes a long way because he built a lot of confidence through that by having even matches. So that's cool.
So they rank them. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, they still rank them for that
that's
tournament.
Good.
So
that's good. That makes everybody work really hard.
Exactly. It means a lot to them.
And the end of season practice?
Yeah, so we're still going to keep practice going for middle schoolers, an opportunity where they're going to be at the same time as the youth practices that are going, because we're going to build up and ramp up to NYWA team state for middle school. So Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I believe it starts at 6:30 on those days, and they're invited to, come get a workout. I'm going to be in the room with my son, Coach Gabe Hovden, Coach Alan Ewell, and we're just going to keep going, but mainly skill build and, just build up that experience and keep them in shape a little bit.
You bet. There's the time. If you want to get any extra wrestling or extra time to learn a move, them guys are going to teach it at that one. So you definitely want to come to that practice.
Absolutely. That'll be a lot of fun.
All right. We'll be back with more wrestling right after this break. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast. We got Jack Sorenson here, a special guest here today, along with Coach Johnson and me, and we did a little talking, got a little warmed up, so we're ready to go.
So this is kind of a reunion of sorts. You were saying that this little runt you've known since he could probably maybe not even walk. I don't know.
My wife did daycare for him for many years, and when he was in grade school and before preschool too.
I just remember the pool.
Yeah.
That was the best part.
That was a nice pool. We had a lot of fun in there. But anyway, I used to make this kid work all the time and help me load the wheelbarrow. He thought he was lifting these big chunks of dirt or whatever. And then I put him on top and he'd ride in it.
That's adorable.
So, we had some good times. That's the memory I got.
Nice.
With Jack Sorenson.
Awesome.
So, how is your season going so far?
Pretty good. Probably not how I wanted to start it, but I went down from 52 to 45, and I'm feeling way better. I wasn't very strong at 52, but now when I'm at 45, I'm way stronger, way faster, and feeling way better.
Good.
Yeah. Well, Jack, and you've had, I mean, this is going to happen being an underclassman wrestling, mid to mid upper weights where it's not easy. That's for sure. I mean, you're going again. How many times are you actually wrestling someone your age? Like, it's usually
Not that
upperclassmen,
often.
right?
Yeah, they're usually older
Yeah.
than me.
So for someone who's taken the pounding that you're supposed to, I think you're doing amazing. Like I was just talking about Mankato East last week. That was a perfect example of you took it head on, and you were actually mad that you lost, even though, quite frankly, from a coaching standpoint, I'm just glad you kept it close. So the fact that you want to get over that hump even more, ferociously, I love that. So that's a good sign.
All right. What kind of work did you put in the off season to prepare for your wrestling season?
We went to some of the practices in the spring for freestyle and Greco.
There you go.
We went to Black Shirt Club whenever we could. I mean, we lifted on our own a lot, but we tried to go to as much black shirt as we could.
And what's black shirt?
It's the lifting program that we do for the wrestlers
The Owatonna wrestlers.
at the high school.
Good.
And
Good.
then we went to the Montana camp this summer in Flathead, Montana. And it's just a week long. You get to run up a mountain at the end. It's fun.
Beautiful
it's
country.
hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, but it's really fun.
They work them.
Yeah.
They tell them on the registration form, you better be in shape when you come to this camp.
Oh yeah. We went to the Thorn weekend camps, and then we also went to another Montana camp right before the season started.
Oh.
So
That's right. Well, and you're never out of shape anyway because, what's your other passion?
running, cross country and track. Yeah. I'm really good at it
Yeah.
for our school.
Yeah.
Really
what-
good.
How did track end last season for you?
8th in the section in the 2 mile, and then 6th in the section in the mile, but PRs all around. So
That's awesome.
good.
Personal records. Sweet. That's the way to end it.
yeah.
Oh, the goals. We come up to that question. What are your individual goals for this season and by the time you graduate?
Make it to state just by the time I graduate for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Place in the section higher than I did last year. This year is my goal mainly. I'm not
Perfect.
not shooting for anything too high right now, but I'm trying to focus on what I want.
Yeah, and if you get that, then that really gives you that energy to go to that next step.
Yeah.
I've found that out. A lot of kids. That's good.
Well, and last year you just kind of went where we needed you, and so as a freshman you went up to 152 and placed 5th at the section.
Yeah.
So I have a sneaky feeling that you're going to be top 3 at least, if not going to state this year. So
That's good.
it's a big good jump.
And you're just a sophomore.
Yep.
I don't know if you said that or not, but okay. Individual goals. What's your favorite part about the sport of wrestling?
The team duels, and just cheering on for heavyweight is usually my favorite part because it's you never know what's gonna happen.
It's close matches.
It's close matches, and they're just rolling, but it's still crazy, especially when you get to put your hand up and hopefully wait for just that pin,
Yeah.
and everyone freaks out. It's so fun.
Yeah, keeping you guys off the mat too after you get that pin. That's
Yeah.
always fun for a coach, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
All right, what's the next one on here? Favorite moments with your teammates while you were in wrestling so far? You got a couple years to go, but that one tournament? Or?
There was this one time that Grant threw RJ into the wall, and that was the funniest thing ever.
Is that this year?
Yeah, that was this year.
It was? Okay.
We were warming up, and I think RJ lifted off the Grant, and Grant just grabbed him and threw him into the wall, and RJ just bounced off the wall and went flat on his back.
RJ is just like everyone's little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
the youngest of all the Reinardys.
And he can take it too.
Yeah, he's used to it. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, what's your walkout music? I couldn't remember that one.
It's rap music, but I don't love that usually that harder rap music that much all the time for warming up for wrestling or anything or walking out. I kind of like the more mellow, just it's got a really good build up and then it's got a really good beat or melody to it.
Sure.
Something that's just
So who are your favorite artists right now?
Polo G, Lil Baby, and then like when I listen to, I like country music too, but I prefer rap music mostly.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha. I don't know who any of those people are, so
Me either.
I trust you that those are real things that you just said. All right. Well, I talked to you and your brother about this because I want to throw in kind of a weird curveball question. This doesn't have to be the most fascinating thing in the world, but what's like a secret hobby, talent, something like that that not a lot of people know about, and it kind of surprises people when you unleash that?
I got I got one, but it's got like 3 aspects to it.
Okay,
All right.
good.
I'm a huge nerd, so
Perfect.
I love like nerdy Marvel movies, Lord of the Rings, and all that kind of stuff. Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I can solve a Rubik's cube, and I'm not
Like a 3x3?
3x3. And
How fast?
My fastest time is 41 seconds.
That's pretty dang fast.
And then
my goodness.
I can solve the 2x2s, and then I like to sing. I'm
You
in
can
choir.
sing.
Yeah.
Where do you sing? In the shower? You know, Echo Road?
Yeah.
Could you you'd be legendary if you sang right now on a podcast.
What song?
Your choice, dealer's choice here. Doesn't have to be The Sound of Music. I know you want to do that.
There's this one song I requested for the Pops concert this year. It's called Riptide.
Is that by Grandson? By Grandson?
It's by this guy named Vince. I forgot his last name.
let's hear it.
Vince
Let's hear it
Joy, I
though.
think.
A little bit.
All right. Lay, running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I'm gonna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing this song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.
Very good.
Crap, kid.
Where you been? You
can
should be
sing.
singing.
Yeah. Jeez.
We just figured out something. This
Oh
guy,
my
you're gonna
gosh.
get into
All right.
promotions.
All right. I guess on the bus rides you're just getting drowned out by like Michael Reinardy's off-key singing or something. So I never hear that. That was real talent, man. Awesome, dude.
That was real talent for sure. Coming up here on the mic and just
all right. No
hit the right
pressure,
notes.
Donnie. No pressure at all, buddy.
He's just shaking
Well,
his
thank you so much,
Yeah.
Mr. Sorenson. You are a class act and a great example. Always have been. That's definitely attributed to Scott and Daleen as well. So they've done a great job. Thank you for being a part of this program.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, keep being a leader. Love it.
We'll be.
out there. Good luck in the future too.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's it here for now. We'll be right back with the other guests. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast here with Coach Johnson. I'm Larry Hovden, and we got a new guy on here, brother of the last guy that was here. This guy is Donnie Sorenson.
Donnie Sorenson.
Yep.
Donnie Sorenson. So at last year's banquet, I described you as kind of like the team mascot. Like
Yeah.
every team needs a Donnie. Mm-hmm. You are life of the party. Sometimes you gladly take the abuse, but
Yeah.
you are kind of just an all-around entertainer, and it's important on a team to have that lighter side. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just here with the team. Basically.
Sounds like you're firing them up or doing something.
Yeah, always.
Yep.
That's good. So how's your season going this year?
Well, I've definitely had downs. I'm not gonna shy away from that. A lot more downs than ups, but still having success on the mat. Still trying new things. Beating good guys, losing to good guys. Still chasing goals, and other than that, good.
When did you start wrestling?
I had my first year of wrestling in 6th grade,
Yeah,
and
a couple years behind, and it still shows. But
yeah.
you'll get better.
yeah. I
So
didn't
last year as a freshman would have been only year 4 for you.
Yeah.
And you were 20 seconds away from making it to state.
Yeah.
At
Whoa,
106. Yeah. That's crazy. So you're only in year 5, and your expectations of yourself are going to state, placing at state, all of
Yeah.
that this year, right?
My main goal is to place at state this year. Last year I felt like I set myself low just to make it to state. This year I may have not made it to state last year, but I want to do more than that. I want to place at state this year
Raise your
at
goals
113 pounds.
Every year, raise your goals. That's perfect.
Yep.
That is perfect. Yeah, what weight do you wrestle?
I'm wrestling 113 this year.
All right.
At the beginning of the year, I wrestled 120, and I decided, you know what, I was just gonna go down to 13, and it was tough at first, but now we're managing it well, and no problems so
Good.
far. So
Good. All right. What kind of work do you do to put yourself in and get ready for the season? What do you do to prepare?
we did a lot of training at Thorn and Summit to prepare for the season.
What is Thorn?
So
That's a new name.
So like the Thorn brothers,
Yeah.
like David Thorn and all them. So basically, he has like a camp, and it's just a wrestling camp, and a bunch of kids come, and really a lot of tough guys, and you can go there for like a week or 3 days, and just wrestle. It's pretty tough,
Pretty tough.
and
Good.
nobody there is really just bad. So all partners there are tough, and you always get a good
Yeah.
workout, and
Perfect.
but yeah, and we're weightlifting, doing the Black Shirt Club, as Jack said. Staying active in the spring.
You running track?
I
I don't know if you do or not.
I ran track last year. I didn't really like it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try lacrosse, and still training for wrestling in the springs too. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
Greco.
do some freestyle
wrestling.
Greco.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Start getting them moves down where you can start throwing these guys around. Okay. Individual goals for this season.
I'd say to at least reach 30 wins, and I wanna not only make it to state but place. I wanna have a lot of closer matches with tough kids, because that's what I'm kind of seeing as a pattern this year is, tougher kids who used to, whoop up on me in youth years. I'm having closer matches, and and it's just a thrill knowing that I'm getting better and pretty close to reaching my goals.
Wow. So by the time you graduate, who knows where you're going to be? If you
We'll
got those
see.
kind of goals down, you're doing real well. Doing real well. What's your favorite part about the sport of wrestling?
Definitely being with the team, and I'd say just team bonding mostly, and getting to, after every duel, going to hang out with, Cael and Blake and Mason,
There
and
you
just
go.
team bonding mostly, and how hype it gets during the seasons and duels and individual tournaments, knowing that everybody has your back, and they're all there to hold you up and support you, and that's definitely my favorite part.
That's a really cool.
Yeah.
Taking your breath tear by. That was really good. That was
Well-
quite an answer.
And one thing I specifically like about the way you approach the sport, and you can tell you geek out
Yeah.
about moves.
Yeah.
You geek out about, we were texting a little bit in the off season about like, oh, you get, this duck under series, this slide by series. The other day I missed it because I was wrestling live with somebody, but you sprinted over and you're like, I did the super duck. And so like I like how your brain works. I like
Yeah.
how you're constantly trying to figure out the sport and see it as the martial art it is. That's awesome. I love that part of what you bring to it.
Yeah, and practice. Not only trying to in live, I'm not only trying to get a good workout in, but I'm always trying new moves and stuff that I, been sent by you, and Cael showed me, and the stuff that he brings to me is awesome, and even some of the stuff that I see, college
yeah.
guys do, and
You know where Cael's getting it. He's getting it from his big
yeah.
brother.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that's some pretty good stuff. Pay attention to that. It really is. You got a favorite moment
Yeah.
with your teammates?
Favorite moment with my teammates, definitely staying in the hotel at the Clash last year. That was
yeah.
really fun. I roomed with Landon, Jacob, and Cael, and it was just awesome being in a hotel room with them. They were funny. It was not boring. I had so much fun.
Good.
That's definitely my favorite moment.
Well, yeah, as a freshman, so those guys were two senior captains and then a junior who
Yeah.
became senior captain.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big honor right there to be included in that room.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
they were all my mentors last year. They were all just taking me under their wing, and Cael still does it, and something I'm grateful to have on the team.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, there's a word I hear every week, these mentors. Somebody helping another
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
That's really cool that Owatonna's got that going. That really
Absolutely.
is. Coach, you want the next one?
Yeah, buddy. What's your walkout music?
Everybody like on the team likes to do some rap, and I've always just stuck to the same one as last year. It's "Crazy Train" by Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And it's just the build up is really nice, and I kind of want a walkout song that everybody knows that I'm coming out on the mat.
Yep.
And yeah, it's the same as last year, "Crazy Train." I thought about changing it, but I'm just gonna stick with it.
It makes sense with your blast double.
Yeah.
Just a freight train coming down the tracks,
It's
man.
a great song.
Yeah.
It really is. A lot of fun.
That's
I've had
awesome.
a lot of fun with that song in years past, too.
Well, I gotta say, like we were talking about with Jack, in the Northfield meet in front of the home crowd, number 6 ranked Staub, and I know, what were you, 2-2 against him last year, or 1-2?
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
So,
He's ranked?
yep, and came back and kind of broke him in the last minute of the match, and ended up being an 8-2 match, and I see that going a lot different next time. So,
Yeah.
that is kind of the theme. I keep talking about how it seems like almost as a team we are so close to getting over that hump in these really, really tough matches and relying on our conditioning. And, you're one of the poster childs for that, where it's just so close for everything to click. So
Yeah.
excited to see when that actually does happen,
Yeah.
what you're going to do to people.
And just I feel like as soon as I beat him, it's home stretch from here. Like, I'm gonna just keep pouring it on. I know I have a measuring stick. I now know where I am. I know I can compete with him. I know I can break him, and I definitely know I can beat him. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Good goals. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well,
Perfect.
even though I keep saying you're kind of the mascot of the team and everything like that, I also mean it. Every team needs a Donnie Sorenson.
Yeah.
You brighten everything up. Even if I come in a little cranky from work or something like that, into the practice room, there's always Donnie to just trot up and, hey, coach. So, yeah, always need that. So thank you, man. It's important to have, all different types of personalities on a team.
Well, that's
And you're one that's needed.
Yeah.
For sure. You bring up the spirits in the entire room. So
No
thank
problem.
you, buddy.
That's your talent for sure.
Yep, absolutely. So, well, thank you, sir. And hey, you did pretty dang well. You really did. So I'm going to tell you, you can brag over Trey Hyatt. You can brag over Lane Karsten. You were a much better interview. The nerves weren't going even halfway as much. So, you and Jack both did pretty dang well.
You got any shout outs you want to give a shout
yeah.
out for anybody?
shout out to Cael Robb, Mason Bloom, and Blake Fitcher.
There you go.
Just
Mentors.
mentors, my best friends on the team. Shout out to Lane, always being there. And that's it.
Wow.
Nice.
Really
Awesome.
good.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right, that wraps up our Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast. We have so much fun doing this every Wednesday. We set out a new one, and so be prepared. Get
Yeah.
ready to watch. You can watch it anytime you want. It's on Facebook Wrestling, Owatonna Wrestling, and
Yeah, and thank you again to Flemke Insurance Agency, Ben Flemke and his team over there, for supporting the podcast, for supporting actually many different parts of what we do with Owatonna Wrestling. And yeah, the community support that you provide is unparalleled. We love those locally owned businesses.
all right, that about wraps it up then. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.